Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our AIS platform for another discussion. Today's subject, what I have taken, which is the gift to the whole universe, mankind, about the principle of karmas and the principle of reincarnation. These are the two components what our Eastern philosophy has given us. And that is the reality of our life. Now, in today's world, half of the population understand this principle, but how much we really apply it in our life and how we really accept it, that is the key for us to understand, and how our day-to-day life, where we build karma, this is what we call as our daily karma, how they will impact our well-being at every level, physical, mental, and emotional. Because in our Eastern philosophy, we have three main components what has been accepted in the Western world for learning. One, we talk about yoga, which has been in a much more wider aspect throughout the world. Then come up meditation, and then the one which is now following very strongly is learning of Ayurveda, understanding of Ayurveda. So these three components come from the Eastern philosophy, and all of them are very strongly based on the principle of theory of karma. So how theory of karma get developed and how it impact us in our day-to-day life, in our well-being, in our family life, in our social life, in our work-related, and what exactly karma does to us. This is something we must understand, if not much deeply, at least to that level, so that we can prevent many of our such deed which otherwise create layers and layers of those new karmas, and one can avoid them. But the sad part is, most of us who follow these three principles of Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation, we think that yes, we do agree, we do accept, we do listen about this principle of law of karma and incarnation, but at same time I can create my own theory that how karma get built, and that is the fact. But sad part is that is not the fact. No one of us can develop our theory, because this is our habit in the Western world, that we want to follow those principles which we feel are components for thousands of years for the well-being of mankind, but we want to follow them according to our rules, and that's where the conflict comes up. We are no one to create rules, because the law of karma and the theory of incarnation. These are the rules created by that creator who has created this whole creation. And we are just a small part of that creation, which again has been created by him. So it will be good for us to understand and accept that karmas are reality and karmas cannot be changed, but we do have in our hand to minimize the layers of karma in this present life. Because this is the human creation, what we talk about, human life. So one need to understand how we get this human life. Is it something switch on, switch off? No. This is the greatest gift what we got as a human life, again based on our karmas. And then this human life is the one which can break the shackle of death and birth, which is the principle related with the incarnation or reincarnation part we talk about. And we can get liberation, moksha. But does moksha comes up by just closing my eyes and sitting for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, which we nowadays call as meditation? And then when we get up, we start making our own choices. Either it is in my eating, either it is in my lifestyle, or even it is in my thoughts. And still have all those wrongdoings in my life and still feel that because I'm sitting for meditation by closing my eyes for 15, 20, 40 minutes, I am actually going into the higher realms and start seeing so many lights, so many sounds I can hear. And in the same way, when we are into yoga, we feel that every morning and evening I am spreading my mattress and whether it is an organic mat or normal, and I'm trying to stretch on that upward, backward, sideways and complete my asanas. Or even if I simply say that just doing your Surya Namaskar 15 times or 105 times or 108 times, then my yoga is done and I have built my good karmas. That is not what karmas are. Karmas start with a very basic principle for us to understand from our thoughts. Our even having a bad thought can create a bad karma, because every thought will turn into action. Hence, I should or I would like to see my thoughts are always clear, stable. But how that will come? When I keep putting here and here some kind of incompatible substances. And when it comes to that part, that's where the irritation comes up, agitation comes up, that how come I can be told about not following my inner thoughts, and then we say that, okay, no matter if I'm keep eating meat, which is nothing, meat is not something, the word meat. Meat, one, we need to understand what exactly meat is. Meat means you are killing someone. Even though you might say, I am not the one who is killing, but you are eating that substance which has been killed. Killed means a life has been taken. And that life, you are playing a part in that process while being a party to that meat eating. So, eating meat is going to create a layer of karma. And now, if you go a little bit much more deeper into the understanding of state of mind, which is again the biggest component in our physical, mental, emotional, physiological, pathological situations. Because there are three gunas which we call as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, and they govern the state of mind where the thoughts comes up. So now when you are eating something which is tamasic or dark or dull and then stimulating other substances, how you can see that they will create a more positive, creative thoughts in our mind. No matter how long you've been doing yoga, how long you've been following meditation, and how long you might be practicing Ayurveda. You love Eastern philosophy, you learn Eastern principles, but then you think I will follow them according to my own ways. That's not going to happen. That is why we keep creating layers of karmas, and that part we call as our daily karmas, because there are three types of karmas. One is the karmas based on the part of the karma you get the human life. Again, this is something we all need to understand very clearly, that in every life you develop karmas. But then the part is based on the accumulation of the karma. One part can then decide that will I get in a human life or not. And if by grace of Creator we got the human life, that is one part of my karma. This is what we call as your fate karma. Then you have another part of the karma which is known as reserve karmas, which will always carry with you. But then how I will minimize those one too? And then the part comes up, why I have to minimize? Because till the day our all karmas get washed, and karmas relate with our soul. Soul is your real essence, your identity, who is experiencing everything what we are doing. And if those layers of karmas from our souls not get peeled off and washed till the day this cycle of death and birth will keep happening, and we will be in this creation. But will I be next time in a human being or get in a human life? Who knows? This is beyond our control. And that is why each human being is given one component, what we call as buddhi. Buddhi is your vivek, buddhi intelligence, which can help you and everyone to prevent building more karmas. And that's where the third part comes up, our daily karmas. Daily karmas, more and more we create, more and more layer we create. And that is where our suffering comes up. Now look at how we on a daily basis create our karmas. Say you are in your family now. Start with the part there. You have a partner, you have kids. And now if you are not fulfilling your responsibility towards your partner, your family, your kids, then what is happening is on a daily basis you are creating more bad karmas. You are abusing your family, you are abusing your partner, or the one thing which is so common, that you are always trying to change your relationship for one reason or the other, because if the things are not working according to our thoughts, I will try to run away from that situation and then try to think that grass is greener from the other side and try to get into another new relationship. But what you have done with the previous one, you always know. And that's how you create more and more bad karma. So how you can think that these actions of mine are going to help me to be a good human being? And good human being means you are minimizing the new layers of the karmas. But when the karmas are accumulating, then what will happen? Your internal physical bodily part will get affected, because your daily karmas are not just the layer, they also have an impact on your physical state, on your mental state, on your emotional state. Because again, that is what we talk about, and which most of the time we understand this now, that whatever we eat, that's how we will be. In Sanskrit we call it jaisa khao an vaisa ho man. Man means mind. So whatever you will eat, it will have your state of mind like that. But then how you can think that if your deeds are always dark, that they will create a light in your inner self. And when your inner non-physical aspect will be dark, stagnated, blocked, then how you can see your physical organs, whether it is your brain, whether it is your heart, whether it is your liver, or whether it is your kidney or lung, will be in a healthy state. And that's where the stagnation comes up from our philosophy, our principles of Ayurveda. Because disease get created by our actions, and actions are nothing but part of your thoughts. And if your thoughts are wrong, cluttered, you are going to make a wrong choice. Whether that wrong choice in selecting your food, activities, deeds, they are going to then become a part of your karmas. So, in relation to minimize these new layers of karma, and then second part is how I can burn those reserves karma, is where whole philosophy of Ayurveda yoga comes into part. And that is why we always say, if you are learning Ayurveda and yoga Be thankful that you got this opportunity to learn these philosophies, but don't try to learn them according to your own rules. Whatever these philosophies and principles are, they need to be followed and implemented in your life as being taught to you, as being given by your teachers to you. Don't think that I can create my own rules and then I will follow them. That is the reason you will see many practitioners, whoever, whatever level they practice, either it is Ayurveda or yoga, they have so many sufferings in their life. And the reason of that is very true. They don't want to follow what has been given to them and always look for easy way out. Easy way out is not there in these philosophies, because these all philosophies are based on actions. Whatever you have learned, you must apply that in your life. It's not in a Western medicine where the solution is to learn and then look for fixing it by either taking in a pill or in a capsule or in an injection. That is how these two principles work. So you are given an opportunity to understand that there are karmas. The law of karma is always there with us the day we born as a human being. But we also have the opportunity to minimize the new layer rather than keep building new layers. And then we also have the ability to wash or remove those reserves karma. So I might not come to this life, another life again, because what you are looking for, the moksha, liberation. But moksha, again, as I said, is not going to come overnight, neither it is going to come with my own principles. We have to clearly understand, and if we have not understood it till date, we should think today is a new day in my life, and I must make an honest commitment with myself that while I am part of this Eastern philosophy, because I am following Ayurveda, I am following yoga, and I am trying to do my meditation. But don't talk about that meditation as a God realization or spiritual aspect. You first have to do self-realization. And self-realization is the biggest part what Ayurveda teach, that you must fulfill your all responsibility, which again will be based on your state of life, where your life is, whether you are a student, whether you are a practitioner, whether you are a husband, whether you are a wife, whether you are a child. Each one of us has our own responsibilities, what we call as dharma, and try to fulfill those to be true to yourself. You cannot create your own law of dharma. Then next part is that you must learn how to keep your five senses in control. Don't get lured by those five senses while living in this universe. You are in the contact with the universe based on these five senses, but using them in a right way will help you to minimize another layer of a karma. And as long as we are able to learn this, we will be able to make then right choices in my eating, thinking. And when your thinking are getting pure or stable, then you will not make another wrong action in your life. And when you are not making any wrong action, then what you are doing is you are not building a new layer of karma. And all your these efforts will not go unnoticed. If you are of this belief that where is that creator? That creator is nowhere. That is in this body. That is why there is a very simple saying that human bodies are living temple of God. But what we do, we try to go to these symbolic places where we feel that creator or God is there, whether it is your churches, whether it's your temple or other kind of places of worship which has been created by humans based on your what you call beliefs. And beliefs are being created by human beings. They are not God created. God has only created this human creation and then he placed himself inside that creation. But what we do is we try to build big temples, big churches, big other worship places, but then we never even for a one moment think of this human creation, that how dirty we are making it every moment through my actions, through my deed, through my eating. Whatever we eat, we must look into that. Is it compatible to me? Is it compatible to those three gunas which we have learned as a part of our Ayurvedic and yogic learning, that they are controlling my mind, and then we also know mind is impacting our every cell in the body. So when you are building more and more of tamasic and rajasic component through our daily actions and not fulfilling my right dharma, how I can expect that I can burn my layers of karmas? And then we suffer from various ailments. And then someone might say another question, that I follow purely right kind of Ayurveda. I do all my daily routines. I do my processing. I eat very pure vegetarian food and I do all my assignments on time and I do my other aspect in my yogic practice also. But I still have the sufferings. How come? Again, answer is very simple. That when we are doing right deeds, what you are doing, as I said before, you are washing those reserved karma which still responsible to decide whether you will break this shackle of death and birth or you have to come for another life. And our ultimate goal is I don't want to come again, because this creation, no matter how good it seems, it is the most dirtiest place to live. But yes, if we have been given this human life and we need to keep it as a gift of that creator, but follow every moment of this life according to His will. We need to learn to live in His will. And His will is follow the right path. And what is the right path? Right path is when you fulfill all your responsibilities, what has been taught. And that is where the 8 limbs of yogas give you, yamas and niyamas there. We must follow them. We just don't to think of yogic asanas as a one and only part of my life. And then when we talk about Ayurveda, I don't need to start thinking that I learn how to scrape my tongue in the morning and then I learn how to eat only warm food, or I learn how to do nasya, is what Ayurveda is all about, and I'm following that. But then keep doing my wrong deeds all the time, right? Whether it is towards my family, towards my kids, towards my parent, and not understanding that how my every action, every thought even going to create layers of karma till the day we will never be able to break these shackles of death and birth. So that is what karma theory is. We must understand the way it has been given to us, because karma theory is a very integral part of Ayurvedic psychology and counseling. And Ayurvedic counseling is the most important, and if I say is the only path, I'm saying it without any ego, to wash our deep-seated emotions, what we say our childhood traumas. If we want to get out of those childhood traumas or deep-seated emotions, there is only one solution: to follow Ayurvedic emotional healing program, or what we call as more deeper level, our Chit Yog Sadhana program, which give you every component to understand and follow, so that your every breath will be without creating a new layer of karma. Other than that, there is no way out. And I can definitely stand on my word that we are fortunate that we are associated with Ayurveda, yoga, and we must follow them in the right way, not the way we see in everyday's new social media's posts or different kind of podcasts get talked about by many people, and we try to think that they are the right way. Why they are appealing to us? Because it's an easy way out. As a human being, we always intend to follow the easy way out in our life. We never need to reflect deep down in our inside. That is why we are never able to see ourselves in the mirror, because mirror will show you our ugly face. Mirror will never speak lies. But we don't want to see our real picture, and that's why we want to run away and follow those kind of paths which just give me one excuse or the others. And we know that yes, we will follow those paths for 5 months, 6 months, and then when we feel that nothing is happening, we will look for a new path. And that's why we always talk about that in this today's world, why new things keep coming up, whether it is the nutrition principle, whether it is some more different kind of meditations comes up, or different kind of food preparations comes up, and then we will try to follow them because every new thing is appealing to us. But while in our that pursuit, we are leaving the real principle, because those real principle required a lot of effort from our side, and we are not ready to put effort. So again, my effort of this short talk is that if you are associated with Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation in whatever way, try to follow it in the right ways, follow the right path given by these modalities, because these are the modalities which give you the principle of this karmas, and then give you the understanding that how we are in a position to burn these layers of karma so that we can achieve ultimate goal, moksha or liberation. But it is not something switch on and switch off. It is a constant effort, because what we can do, we can only do one thing. We can only create an effort to keep our pot clean. When I say pot clean, I'm sure every one of you eat 3 meals a day, and then whatever you have decided to prepare, you will never prepare in a dirty pot, and then you will never serve on a dirty plate. You always would like to have the food on the clean plate. Same is that part. We only have the ability to keep our plate, keep our pot clean, because what we are seeking His grace to give us prashadam. Prashadam means that pure food. Pure food only has to come from Him, and when we will take a one grasp of that food, we will be much closer to that ultimate goal of liberation. But before that, our health, physical, mental, emotional, will come to us, and we can live whatever life is with us, 70 years, 90 years, or 50 years. As long as we can live them in healthy state, that is what our effort should be. And that only will happen when we don't let new karmas get built. So thanks, and I hope all of us can give a bit thought on this.